What's the best way to get out of a situation where someone won't stop talking and you just want to leave? Hey, I've gotta go. It was great talking with you, and we'll catch up on things next time. I've never had someone get offended at this. Sometimes we're just so happy to have someone listen to us that we don't know when it's time to shut up. Sometimes we're just so happy to have someone listen to us that we don't know when it's time to shut up. This is my problem. Yeah, I go for Lenny and his puppy when someone is willing to listen. Zone out for a second. Then say sorry, my dog telepathically just told me that he needs to be fed. As soon as possible, then run out screaming, I'm coming Toby. OMG, this is so wonderful. I'll name my first pet Toby. Just to use this line. You gave my entire life a brand new perspective. Thank you. Internet stranger. You know you can use a different name, right? You don't have to name your dog Toby. Gotta go. Well, talk later immediately followed by walking away. And keep walking. If the person keeps talking, acknowledge it without stopping. If you can't walk away, I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta work on this, okay? Well, talk later and immediately put on headphones if you have them. The last one is pretty effective for me. My mom makes a comment about the last thing you said and then says, okay honey, it was nice talking to you, but I'll let you go now. I always laugh at that. Like I'm the one who said I have to go and she's letting me. It's really effective though. I have a friend who just talks for ages and doesn't get the hint I have to stop. I'm too nice too, so it takes several attempts before I finally put my foot down and say, okay seriously dude, I'm going. Then he totally twists it and says, yeah well, I hate to break it to you, but I gotta go now. Talk soon. And I'm like, I've been trying to leave for the past 10 minutes, but he has to make it his announcement to leave /view 200D. I have a friend who's declared he thinks he has some version of Asperger's, entirely possible, and as a part of this, he's terrible at getting off the phone, so he gave me permission to end a conversation at any point because he would be unlikely to pick up hints. I found that refreshing and appreciated his self-awareness. Sounds like you've been in this situation before. What I do is I try to switch the topic to something else, and once we briefly talk about it, and before they can start rambling about something else, say I have to leave / do something / go to the bathroom. Hope this helps. There's a guy at work that will talk in circles for hours if you let him. I found the best solution is to push him through the conversation until he runs out of things to talk about. Ask him questions to move the conversation along, and eventually he will be out of stuff to talk about and he will do his job quietly. You just say, sorry to interrupt, but I need to run and walk away. That's if it's a friend or family member who you don't dislike. If it's just a random person at a coffee shop or something, just walk away. You don't owe them your time and you shouldn't let them take it. I used to run a sales team. Many years ago, we offered internet services, listing, marketing, design, all those kind of things. I needed some people with the skills I don't have. IT skills. I hired a guy called Bob, not his real name. So Bob was great at the computer stuff. He was a ducking genius. He also liked to talk about IT stuff in detail. Lots of detail. I did not work directly with Bob, but would say hi to him and then try and get away. One day he caught me in the kitchen. Bob started to tell me stuff, like everything about computers ever. Kelly, not her real name, was making coffee. I quickly told Bob that Kelly was interested in buying a new computer and he should go talk to her. Kelly has never forgiven me. So my view is, tell the person that the subject they are talking to you about is something that X person is interested in. But be prepared to receive post-it notes saying "duck UX" on your desk for weeks after. I have this issue. I'm a female and work alone and cannot belie the amount of dudes who come in and just talk shit. I have to literally lock up the shop and lie and say I have to leave to collect something to make them go. I try all other attempts, but they just do not care. One day I'm going to break. I usually just go and then walk away. If they keep talking, I pretend I can't hear them. which I can get away with because I really do have a hearing loss. Unfair advantage. When I get really talkative people on the phone who go on after the purpose of the phone call is long since finished. This happens at work a lot. I say, well, I won't take up any more of your time. It's weird how well it works. Like continuing to talk would be admitting they have nothing better to do. I have a neighbor who is exactly like this. His name is Joe. He is a nice person, if not a bit overly friendly. I didn't think much of it at first when I moved into the place I'm currently living, but it is mostly older people who live around here and they tend to not get a lot of visitors. Being a younger person only in my 30s, I'm not the atypical kind of resident for this area. I'm not against stopping to talk to people. I think it's good to take time to interact with people, keep the social skills sharp. However, Joe is a big offender of just talking and talking and talking without shutting up. He speaks super quickly too, which is a pet peeve of mine. I know the reason he talks so much is because he is lonely, but sometimes he just refuses to stop talking, even when I've made it clear that I'm wanting to just get inside or head out to my car. I've found the best solution to ending this issue before it starts is to just say, hey, can't talk right now buddy, gotta run. I'll talk to you when I get back. And that normally solves the issue. I think so long as you take the time to acknowledge the fact they are there and speak to them if only briefly and then express you have other things to do. You shouldn't feel guilty or bad about leaving or turning to leave, even if they aren't done talking. Seriously, I have this issue every week. This one lady talks to me even after I tell her that I'm running late or must leave ASAP. She literally ignores it and keeps with her bullshit. Telling her I have to go doesn't work. I've used so many excuses. Unfortunately, I can't afford to be rude or honest with her, but damn, it's frustrating. Why can't you just tell her that you're leaving? I've mastered this technique of saying, "We'll. I probably better be going." That drawn out well is basically the Texan way of saying this conversation is kind of boring. I've got a coworker who literally just turns around and leaves. If he's bored by you, he'll first stop answering, and if that doesn't stop you from talking, he'll just walk away. I fainted once. The conversational chatter turned into shouting, but at least I couldn't hear it, so it worked, I guess. Step 1. Flail arms wildly. Step 2. Shout ears. Step 3. Run for your damn life. Fly it. Use your phone as a tool. If you know they're a talker, before you get there, set an alarm. A loud one. That will continue going off every 5 minutes if you snooze. Tell them you have a call/meeting/appointment and need to go. If you don't know ahead of time, turn your screen on in your pocket and then pull it out like vibrate just went off. Once you break eye contact to look at your screen, don't say anything for 5 to 10 seconds like you're reading, and then make an excuse and go. This is one case where an interruption is warranted. Nicely, but firmly, say excuse me more than once if needed until you have their attention, and simply explain that you gotta go and that you'll talk to them soon. If it's at work, stand up and chat for a bit and then invite them to walk with you to the photocopier or water cooler. Then walk them back to their desk/workspace and drop them off. Then excuse yourself with, "Well, I should get back to work. Nice talking to you." Apostrophe. Act like a weirdo or maniac and run away. One time this person started talking to me at school and they asked for some money, so I just stood there and looked at them for a second and had a mild seizure and sprinted away. There's something wrong with you. You need to shut the duck up. Obviously, you should gauge the situation before going with something so forward. I said that to a coworker and he laughed and agreed. I've also said, "Stop talking at me. It's really rude." I know a lot of people would be uncomfortable with this, but sometimes the talker is that oblivious to how rude they are being, and it can help them out next time they are having a conversation. You literally just leave. You don't owe that person shit, least of all an explanation when they are bothering you, and they wouldn't be giving you the time of day if you were at your lowest anyways. I just tell them I'm not interested in hearing about their story. But if there is anything else I can do to help, let me know. Mostly for work. I don't care about your life. Sorry, not sorry, I'm not paid to be your friend. I've learned to push that type of person away. I've had a customer tell me about how his wife was caught cheating and she wants to now break up. He still wants to be with her. 2 kids. He's crying to me about how he wants her back. I worked at Radio Shack at the time. This had nothing to do with my job. Current job at a bank, we have lots of old people wanting to come in and tell the same story every single week to use. For the regulars that do this, I finish the story for them and tell them I have a conference call to attend. Sadly, I learned these people will think of you as a friend and always bug you. There were a few that I genuinely connected with and didn't mind. Moral of story: employees do not want to sit with you discussing your life stories for more than 5 minutes. A quick story is fine, but limit it. I was doing the 2010 census. I asked a man at one house a question about another house on the block. He was very friendly, but once he started talking he would not stop. He'd riff off a word in the last sentence and go on forever. See where that blue car is parked? That's Joe Smith's house. He lives alone. Then, speaking of cars. And he'd go on for another 5 minutes. Then that would get him started on something else. I thought I'd never get away. Suddenly make a shocked face. Act like you forgot something extremely important and run. If they ever ask what happened, just say you left something in the oven or something. Doesn't work multiple times with the same PPL though. Walk away. Tell them you have to go and be blunt about it. Be rude, or if you have to be polite, walk away while telling them that you have shit to do that requires your full attention. If they persist, then tell them to duck off because you're not listening. 2 guys in my office. One wouldn't shut up. I just said in a loud voice, "He's in here," then told him they want you down there. Dudes turned and left. Other guy was my boss. He just says, "You ain't right." Blabbermouth didn't come back. Must have found somebody that wanted him. A guy once wanted to escape a conversation with me. He pointed to somewhere random and said, "I need to go over there now," and left. I was not even mad, it was so funny. Say you gotta use the bathroom and you'll be right back. Then just don't come back. If they follow you to the bathroom door, escape out the window. If there's no window, call the cops. My wife is very bad at this. When someone starts talking to her, she'll start talking back, and they start chatting, and it takes forever until the other person says something like, "Okay, I really got to leave now," and goes away. She then turns to me and says, "Finally, got." I thought she'd never leave. Say that someone is going to pick you up for any reason and the person is already waiting, so you need to go. If the annoying person sees you later, you say that your ride is late, but can arrive at any minute. So if it starts getting awkward again, just repeat the excuse. Went into the office a few days after my first kid was born to sort out some massive issues that popped up. Known lingerer stops by and starts doing his thing. I look him dead in the eye and say, "I'm sorry, but if I had time to talk I wouldn't be here." He was taken aback and scuttled off. I didn't mean to be a dick and apologized a ways later, but it did work. Hey, I should be going home now, so I won't worry my dad or anything like that, but I'll talk to you tomorrow, or if it's on the phone or text. Hey, I'm going to hang up now, so I don't waste my minutes, because I would like to talk to you tomorrow. I love being an introvert. First of all, the first thing is to always say that you have something to do and never tell the time. If you are asked, tell him that he has to do it later. If he wants to go, take your phone and say that it is time to go. Yes, he does not have a phone. Ask a person for the time or say he is leaving. But if he listens, leave. And if he tries to stop you, say that he has to do what he had pending and that it was at that exact time. P.S. I don't know how to write in English. Say the following. You. Check watch then big gasp, "Oh no. Them. What is it? You. I gotta go. My friend Regina Fillinge is supposed to meet in a bit. Sorry. Talk to you soon. Them. Bye. Have a nice time you. Thank you. See you soon. Second option. You could try throwing something past them. Point to it. Shout look. Over there. They will then turn their heads and then you leg it. Hey, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.